All right, guys. Hi, hello. Okay, so this video is my attempt to walk everybody who is taking the College Board exam next week, Tuesday, a week from today, on how it will work on the day. So this is going to be a video showcasing to you guys kind of how this process is going to go. The one thing that will be missing from this is for those of you who decide that you want to handwrite your response, which is an option. I will talk a little bit more about that in a bit, okay? So ultimately, on the day of your College Board exam, again, actually 2 days before your College Board exam, all of you guys will be emailed your e-ticket. Okay, your e-ticket will come to the email that is connected to your My AP Classroom. If you can't, if you do not get an email with your e-ticket 2 days before the 12th, you should let me know and then go check out AP Classroom because you'll also find your e-ticket there. You cannot take the exam if you do not have your e-ticket. If you wait until the day of the exam to check to see it arrive, I can't help you. I'm not allowed to speak or exchange information with you on the day of your test. So please make sure that you check that out 2 days beforehand. See your e-ticket in your email or in your AP Classroom. You're going to need, and you'll see, to access your test 30 minutes beforehand. You're going to be able to click on that, and it's going to take you to this home screen on my left here. And this is the demo version. You should all try this out on your own in a little bit. But for now, watch me do this. Again, what you're going to need throughout the entirety of your response for this is your AP ID. Okay, that AP ID is going to be a string of numbers. It's randomly generated. You should have that accessible at all times while you're taking this test, in case you need to enter it. Okay, so 30 minutes beforehand, you're going to be able to get into your, again, the registration part of this. So you're going to want to get registered. Again, since this is the practice, I'm just going to go through it. You're going to do this exact same thing on your own, just troubleshooting through it, okay? So your exam has started, okay? So the first thing that happens here, this is in that 30-minute window before the test actually begins, is you got to enter your personal information. Once you've got your personal information entered, it will have you be ready to get your essay, your first prompt, your first FRQ prompt. Okay, so I'm going to just enter my stuff. Again, this registration is really straightforward. It's just double checking, making sure that you are who you say you are and that you're going to be accessing your test and not someone else's. Make sure that you've got everything typed in correctly, because otherwise you won't be able to access the stuff that you got. Again, could be testing from home. You should read through this, of course. It's just kind of giving you a heads up about this process. Again, agree, so on and so forth. What you're going to see is you're going to hit continue, and then your AP test will begin. If you're there 30 minutes beforehand, there will be a window. You'll have a countdown basically that tells you how much time you have until the first test or first FRQ question will be accessible, as far as that good stuff goes. So you're going to get into it overall, okay? So once you've checked in and the test officially begins at 3 p.m. on Tuesday the 12th, you're going to see that it's got your exam begins. It tells you kind of the direction. So for the practice, this is not the same timing, okay? So you're going to get 10 minutes to read the following question, craft a response, and submit it. After 10 minutes, you'll be moved to question 2, and you won't be able to revisit the question before you submit, and you're going to be looking at trying to put your different things in there, okay? So question 1, on exam day, question will display here. This is how you're going to use this demo. I'm going to take 5 minutes just to kind of put this. So with your response, you're not typing onto the actual College Board exam. What you have to do are 3 options, okay? You can use Word. Word is definitely something that you could use, or any word processing, notes, again, whatever it might be that is best for you. You could use Google Docs, or you could handwrite. Again, those are the 3 big options here, right? On whatever version you use, what you're going to do at the top of each of them is you're going to write your Apple ID, practice is the practice one, and your initials. Okay, that'll go at the beginning of yours overall, right? If you're handwriting, you have to also write the page number somewhere at the top so that they can keep track of how many pages you've written, right? Then you're writing up a paragraph. Okay, and so your response to the FRQ, whatever the FRQ is going to look like, again, depending on what kinds of questions and stuff, you've got your time allotted. As you can see on the left-hand side, there's the timer. It tells you how much time you have left. Again, if you want to set a timer, some kind of clock elsewhere to kind of keep an idea or an eye on things, feel free. A couple of other things instead of me and going through and writing a whole bunch of stuff here. Again, I'm going to type up kind of the big ideas from the overview. Okay, with this process. Okay, so yep, so you can see that after 5 minutes, it's going to go red. So submit your response now. So with this, okay, these are the options that are available to you. Okay, you could attach a text file. So if you did something like a word processor, you would save your document and you would attach like that, right? Again, making sure that your written response, other question, and you attach it here. You can only attach one text file to each question. You could copy and paste. So again, copy, and then you'll be pasting it in there, making sure that that's at the top. Or you can write your response by hand, take pictures with your phone, and then upload them to the website itself. Okay, so if I was going to attach the response, it would be here. Okay, so you could attach photos. So this has got the different requirements for if you hand wrote. So you can see your, again, APID, initials, page number. Again, making sure that you've got all this process. Make sure you attach all the photos if you've got more than one. And this is kind of just showcasing to you how this would work. You could attach a text file. So if you utilize something like Word and you saved it and wanted to upload it, it's definitely something you would browse for a file and then you would submit. If you're going to copy and paste, which I think is the most easy, you would do just that. You would paste it in there. The thing about this is you can't edit once it's been pasted in. So you can't write on here. You can't like change things. So whatever you put into the copy and pasted box, you've got to submit as is. If, again, you did something wrong or it didn't work, you'd hit clear field and it would make it blank again. So just dropping it in there for the practice here, okay? As you guys are working on this, you can see, of course, that it's got time left to submit. The big thing that is important is you have to hit the yellow submit before this time runs out, right? So you could use up to however many minutes of your 5 that you feel comfortable using to get it submitted. Just recognize that if you miss that window to submit, you won't get any points. Even if you're unfinished with your response, even if you're not confident with your response, you got to attach it, you got to submit it before that time goes. If you hit submit and you don't see it come up with it is, and so on and so forth, overall, you want to hit submit there, okay? So question 1 is complete. If you don't see that question 1 complete, that's okay, because even if you don't get that confirmation that has been submitted, it still, excuse me, is going to keep working for you. The technology will be fine, all right? You're going to be fine with that process. So you got to make sure that you are putting it in there with enough time left over. If you hit that submit and it's right, that timer is about to expire and it doesn't tell you that this is complete, that does not mean it hasn't submitted. It just means that the time has run out. So it's going to bring up the new question for you, the second one, which is how our exam is set up. Okay. So after you are in this demo, if you want some more time to kind of look at the different ways to submit, please do. Again, they've got all of them. They've got all of the guidelines and the different recommendations. It walks you through the steps and the different ways to do this. The thing about this demo is you get to decide. This is when you should take the time to figure out, like, okay, well, this is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to use this type of Word document. I'm going to use this type of Google Doc. I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to use my phone. Whatever is most comfortable for you, what you feel most comfortable with, is how you should go about this process. Okay. And when we're looking at this idea, I've got some other things to say, but I'm going to get cut off before it goes into question 2. And when you're getting yourself ready for the day, you should make sure that you pick a testing environment that is going to be helpful and conducive for you. So let everyone know in your house that you're taking a test. To find somewhere quiet. Make sure you have your chargers. Make sure that you've got any of your resources that you decide to have with you in the moment. A timer if you want. It should be quiet. You should have your checklist. Make sure your internet is working. I mean, there's so many things. Again, you just want to make the perfect environment. Again, if you're feeling really anxious about the day, you can always talk to your other teachers to say like, hey, I've got my AP test. I don't think I'm going to be able to do work, just so you don't feel that extra stress. And I'm sure teachers will be flexible with you when it comes down to it, as they know that AP tests can be very stressful for people. Okay, so once that 5 minutes is up, it'll tell you question 1 is finished. Start work on question 2. It's the same process here. Okay, guys. So again, you're going to do the whole thing, whole kit and caboodle. Again, going through, again, if you want to do this more real life, of course, you would, again, follow this prompt and you would do the thing where you put your AP ID and your initials and you would type up a response, however that looks, right? Some other things to kind of keep in mind when it comes down to this, since you know how to put this response together overall, okay? Oh, excuse me, is the fact that, again, just because you're taking this test at home, just because it is open note, does not mean that you can get away with cheating on this test. Okay, open note is different than sharing information with another student about this. And AP is very serious when it comes to cheating of any kind. They do have technology built into their AP program that when you submit your response, that will check and monitor, again, whether or not you've been copying, pasting information from online or sharing something directly with another student who is also taking this test. They have ways of detecting and monitoring social media presence. They're going to be paying attention if people are talking about this exam, specifics about this exam, they can trace that information. Your social media is very open. So please be careful. You should treat this like any major exam, AKA you can't talk to anybody while it's happening. You also shouldn't talk to anyone after it's already occurred. I don't want to know the specifics. When they release the information to me, then you can talk about it as much as you want. But for now, in the moment, you should just not talk about it, right? With this process, as far as open note goes, I keep recommending this. You can't have all of your notes there to try and help you. You only have so much time. You have 30 minutes for the first question and 20 minutes for the second. That's not enough time to search through every piece of information that you've gathered about AP. So make sure that you're being really strategic about the types of notes and resources that you do have available for you. Your textbook maybe would be a good one because you can use the index and that makes things faster. Your short list, if you've got a short list, again, particular maps that are important, that's the kind of stuff, but it should be limited, not your whole kit and caboodle there, that's for sure, okay? As you're working on these online responses, you shouldn't be, again, refreshing anything like that of the page. If your internet goes weird, or if there's a technical glitch that happens and you get kicked out, you should be able to log right back in with your AP ID. If the tech issue becomes persistent or a significant amount of time has gone by before you can actually get in there, there is a, again, route that you can take that basically if an issue happens, you can't call anybody, you can't email anyone to get an immediate response. What ends up happening is you have to request a form to make up this exam, which takes place in June. So again, you have to have your original e-ticket number with your AP ID. You have to submit it within 48 hours of the original exam, and they will approve or deny your request depending on. Technical issues do not include running out of time. If you do not finish your response and submit it before the timing is done, you're just going to get 0 points on that, right? Other things to kind of keep in mind in regards to this process is that this whole exam, FRQs are scary, I know that, okay? This whole exam is curved. If these tests are really difficult, it doesn't matter if you finish everything because you could still earn points on all of that and still get it a 5. What you have to focus on is writing your best quality responses that you possibly can and getting them submitted before the time runs out. Okay. So please, please, please make sure that you are, again, staying focused and getting your stuff done, not getting distracted by outside resources or other things going on. As far as scores go, again, because this is going to be a little bit different, once you've submitted, once the exam is finished, your scores are going to take until July 15th. You won't find out until July 15th how you did. And as far as credit goes, excuse me, there's my 5-minute warning. As far as credit goes, all colleges at this point have expressed the fact that they will be willing to accept, again, these scores, even though they are kind of funky in the fact that we're doing this all online and stuff like that. Okay. I'm just trying to double check my stuff here to see if I missed any of the big things. I don't think so. Overall, like I said, it's very important that you practice this, that you have a plan for the day so that you can make sure that everything is good to go and it all works, that you have your, again, internet working, that you have the correct technology to support you, that you've got everything there ready to go. Again, like I said, if something technical happens on the day, you're going to be able to make it up. You shouldn't have to worry about that, but you should be fully prepared before that happens so that you can make sure that you've got everything that you need. If you have specific questions, please reach out to me. Again, I'll be available on Monday. I'm going to do like a last minute big questions, big ideas kind of thing for everybody who needs some last minute help. But otherwise, again, email me. You know that I'm going to be good about getting back to you. You just have to reach out. Okay. With that said and done, AP exam demo finished.